Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, man, the UK have some fighters. They have some scrappers out there right now. There are too many to mention. I just want to talk about a few that came on my radar, man, in a pretty short video. But the two names, Fabio Wardley he really got a buzz going on with him. But you see these two guys right here, Dalton Smith and Josh Kelly. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull off the wins that they pulled off. Smith clipping, I believe it was Suber and Matias, Josh Kelly clipping Murtazaliev. But just understand this. What they did is just nothing short of amazing. And they're just they continue to add titles out there to the UK. But there's one guy out there, Fabio Wardley. He's the heavyweight. And Fabio Wardley is a problem. He just showed in his last fight when he fought Joseph Parker. Toughness, knockout power, still a little bit raw but dangerous, and he can end fights late, and he's been making the UK proud. One thing about Fabio Wardley, when you're a heavyweight and you hit as hard as he is, you're a threat. But when you have the chin that he has, it's real. That makes you even more of a threat. Still got to work on that defense because you don't want to see Fabio Wardley become like a Joe Joyce, who's out there destroying people, but he just took too much damage to the point to where his chin just couldn't hold up anymore. So as far as what's next for Fabio Wardley, because to me he's kind of the big dog out there. I'm not talking about Moses or Tama and those guys, because of Thomas, I think he can beat anybody at heavyweight. But for Fabio Wardley, man, he's already has a title now. He may just sit there and do some domestic heavyweight clashes, man, and defend his title. But I do think no matter what he does, it's going to be exciting. He needs a little bit of polish, but the bottom line with him, he's not looking to fight fights and get polished. He's looking as a champion to go into wars and make big-time money. And you really can't blame him, you know. Then when you look at a guy like Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly is already lined up for a huge event where he's going to be facing the winner of Jerome Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. I was thinking that fight was going to get announced this week. It has not been announced. I don't know when they're going to announce it, but it's supposed to be sooner than later. But whoever wins in that fight, which I think Boots Ennis should beat Virgil Ortiz, and then you see Boots Ennis face off with Josh Kelly in a fight that I think Boots beats Josh Kelly. But again, it's boxing and you don't know. But one thing about Josh Kelly, he's slick, he's athletic, he's a mid-range boxer, man. But he looked pretty sharp, he looked disciplined, more than he's looked in the beginning of his career. So he's grown, he's matured, and that's the reason why he was able to get that win over Murtazaliev. He's less flashy, he's more structured now, which is good. And he's fighting with maturity instead of ego, and that's why he won that fight. If he would have fought with ego, he would have got knocked out. And what it showed me with Josh Kelly is that he can box when he stays patient. The defense is improving and less reckless than he was before. As far as what's next for him is, like I said again, it's the Boots fight. Boots or Ortiz. If for some reason something changes, he got a lot of options. He's a champion now. But it sounds like Matchroom is trying to keep everything in-house and have Kelly fight. For them, they're hoping it's going to be Boots Ennis. Now you got Lewis Crocker. Aggressive pressure fighter. You know, he can fight. He can crack. Dominant win. Broke the opponent down in his last fight. Got a strong body attack. Crowd-pleasing style. And it just lets you know, man, that when you have an expanded gas tank, people recognize that your engine is serious and that you're nothing to be played with. But his confidence is growing. Still hittable. But he needs someone who can punch back. That's what he needs. And then we'll be able to say, okay, just how good he is. Crocker, I think it's Rolly. Crocker and Rolly is a fight they were trying to make. And Giasov is going to step aside. But we got to sit back and see what direction you're going to take it. But that's what I heard yesterday. I was reading an article. So it could be Crocker against Rolly, but don't hold your breath on any of that because they always change it. Things always change. Now, Dalton Smith, technically sound boxer puncher. he really shocked me, man, when he got in there and was facing off with what's his name, Subra Matias. I didn't see that coming. I knew he can fight. I just didn't see that coming, man. Calm, clinical performance, controlled the pace, rarely looked rushed, was throwing some hard shots, man, and Matias was just catching them. But it showed me that, one, he has power, he has boxing IQ, he has world-level fundamentals, and he's ready to get in there and bang with the elite. So what's next for him is just defending his title. Against who? I don't know. But we just got to sit back and see what they're going to do with him. But he can fight. Whether he's going to do something domestically or do something, fight somebody from outside of the UK, whatever he decides to do, I hope people come prepared because he can knock you out. I didn't know he could hit like that. He can crack. And you got Jazza Dickens, scrappy, awkward pressure, tough, competitive outing in the last fight. Showed heart, still durable. Got that veteran grit experience. Not elite, but dangerous. Good gatekeeper, man, who makes some really good domestic wars. And Nick Ball is fighting this weekend. Nick Ball is just a problem. Relentless pressure, he got power. Last fight, man, high output, aggressive win, walked opponent down, control the fight physically. He is a problem. 5'1", but will kick your ass, you know what I'm saying? But he's got that world level intensity. He said after this fight, he wants unifications. He doesn't want to keep defending his belt. He wants unification. So it looks like he wants to go on, try to become undisputed. Can he do it? I don't know. But I know he can fight. I'll put it to you that way. But he's got a chin. He's got a championship mindset. And I think what's next for him if he gets past this is a unification. Then you got Terri Harper. I think Terri Harper is about to fight Caroline Dubois. Anyway, she's technical, she's composed, she's versatile. Last fight, she looked comfortable and in control, used that experience, didn't take unnecessary risk. And what she's showing is a lot of championship maturity, still improving, very disciplined. I still think Caroline Dubois is way too much for her, but it is what it is. Then you have Ellie Scotney, high-volume technician, dominated in her last fight with activity, clean combination, strong footwork. And she just has those elite fundamentals, ring IQ, championship level consistency, man. So big things for her on the horizon, and it is what it is. So overall, when you just take a look at boxing, you gotta, all eyes should be on the UK. The UK, the fighters out there are just making some noise, man. They all have a strong technical base. There's depth across the division with UK fighters. You see these fighters have a mix of power, mix of skill, and you're seeing that growing women's dominance, especially thanks to Jake Paul out here signing so many different women, man, to MVP Promotions and just signing that big lucrative deal with Sky Sports, and I think it's a distribution deal, but they're gonna I don't know how many fights they agreed to, but Jake Paul and MVP, man, are gonna be putting events on in the UK, so I wonder how Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn are gonna feel about that. Got some competition, and the competition coming from Jake Paul, so we'll have to wait and see how they feel about that. But for these UK fighters, I would like to see fewer safe fights, more international exposure, and more elite matchups. But I'm going to tell you what, that damn Nick Ball, Dalton Smith, these guys are the future of UK boxing. In the breeze.